Chapter 11 Defeat the Enemy with One Move. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the following time, Yi Luyun also appeared on stage several times to compete. 520 official website, but every time, he used force to break the law. No matter what level of skill his opponent uses, he will knock his opponent off the stage with one punch. It may seem like he's doing a quickie, but in fact, his judilang improves every time he takes the stage. Now it has reached the level of perfection, and each punch can produce the power of 7 punches superimposed. None of his changes escaped the attention of some elders. With their eyesight, they could naturally see that Yi Luyun was rapidly improving his strength. The clan leader nodded secretly. That's right. Being able to gain experience through other people's battles can make rapid progress in a short period of time. There is no other talent like this in the Yi family. That the great elder became increasingly worried. Is this still the same waste? The progress is too fast. At this time, it was Yi Luyun's turn to take the stage again. His opponent this time was Yi Tianming, who was ranked number 1 in the foreign government. This battle is about who is the real number 1 in the outer palace, so it attracts much attention. Yi Tianming is Yi Tianheng's cousin. He had already received instructions from Yi Tianheng to kill Yi Luyun during the competition. Moreover, Yi Tianming was arrogant and would not allow Yi Luyun to shake his position as the number 1 foreigner. Although now it seems that both of them are destined to enter the inner palace, so after taking the stage, he directly said to Yi Luyun, "Kill you with one sword." Yi Luyun was not surprised. As soon as he took the stage, he keenly felt the killing intent in his opponent. He just replied coldly, "Want to kill me? Then it depends on whether you have the ability. In my eyes, the disciples from outside are all useless. You will soon see what is truly powerful." Yi Tianming said proudly, holding a long sword. He didn't take Yi Luyun seriously at all. He had no intention of taking action in a hurry, but really enjoyed the feeling of being in the spotlight. Yi Tianming called all the foreign disciples useless, which aroused the dissatisfaction of many foreign disciples in the audience, but no one dared to refute. Even Yi Yong, who was defeated by Yi Luyun, now hopes that Yi Luyun can win and attack Yi Tianming's arrogance. But he also knew that although Yi Tianming had always been arrogant, his strength was indeed much higher than that of other foreign disciples. In particular, he has practiced the high-grade yellow sword technique of flowing light to perfection. Coupled with the fact that he is at the 7th level of body refining, he may be ranked among the top 20 in the inner palace. Yi Tianming does have pride. "Mojijiji, get out of here if you don't want to fight. You are the number 1 in the outside world, you can't just blow it with your mouth, right?" Yi Luyun urged impatiently, causing many foreign disciples in the audience to take a breath and become worried for him. They all know how proud Yi Tianming is. Normally, if anyone dared to talk to him like this, they would have been cut into pieces with his sword. Sure enough, Yi Tianming was so stimulated by his words that his eyes almost burst into flames. No outside disciple has ever dared to talk to him like this. "Since you are looking for death, then I will help you." As he spoke, Yi Tianming's energy from the 7th level of body refining burst out. All the energy in his body was concentrated on his arms, and then the long sword was unsheathed, like a ray of light, and he stabbed Yi Luyun with his sword. Yi Luyun didn't dare to be careless. He knew that the key to this flowing sword technique was speed. Especially if it is used by Yi Tianming, who has cultivated to the 7th level of body refining. It must be no small matter, facing Yi Tianming's sword. Even if he used the power of his soul to slow down his movements, he could only catch the trajectory of the sword light. What a fast sword! Yi Luyun was so shocked by this sword that the hair on his body stood up. To be precise, this is not like a real sword, but more like a sword light. Moreover, this sword light seemed to have blocked all his escape routes, front, rear, left and right, making him feel that he could not escape. In the critical situation, the first layer of defense of his immortal hegemonic body was fully activated, and he turned slightly sideways to avoid the important parts of his chest. At the same time, he mobilized the true energy seeds all over his body, stimulated the power of his bloodline, and faced Yi Tianming's rushing momentum, and attacked Yi Tianming with all his strength with one punch and 9 waves without reservation. His desperate fighting style of exchanging injuries for injuries caused a burst of exclamations from the audience. Even the clan leader and some elders stood up in shock. Obviously, this lose-lose style of play will cause the Yi family to lose two promising disciples at once. But at this moment it was too late for them to stop him. Everything happened too fast. Only the father and daughter, the great elder and Xianxia, showed happy smiles. No matter what, they no longer need to worry about Yi Luyun. Yi Tianming on the stage also realized this instantly. But he couldn't withdraw his sword at this moment, otherwise he would have been punched by Yi Luyun in vain. What he can do at this time is to mobilize his true energy for defense as much as possible, but he only focused on practicing swordsmanship and had never practiced physical training at all. Facing Yi Luyun's sudden punch with all his strength, he had no defense at all. Ding! Bang! Two voices sounded one after another. Everyone saw Yi Tianming flying backwards into the sky, spraying a line of blood in the air. Then there was a snap, and he fell down the stage, twitched twice, and then stopped moving. But Yi Luyun just looked at the torn clothes on his chest and a red scratch on his body, and walked down the ring calmly. The audience roared with excitement, and some even screamed. Blocked? Oh my God! Am I not blinded? He used his body to resist a sword. Is he still a human being? Yi Tianming, who was at the 7th level of physical training, was killed by him with one punch. That the elders in the stands were also surprised. I didn't expect this kid to be a physical training expert. It seems that our Yi family is going to have another genius. At this time, more elders were optimistic about Yi Luyun. The clan leader was relieved and sat down again with a satisfied smile on his face. The smiles on the faces of the elder and Xianxia froze instantly. That expression was uglier than crying. There was also a trace of caution in the eyes of Yi Wanjian and Yi Tianheng when they looked at Yi Luyun. Yi Luyun himself was also in shock at this moment. The place where Yi Tianming's sword stabbed was still aching. Fortunately, he avoided the heart, otherwise even if the sword could not penetrate, the heart would be injured. At this moment, he deeply felt the inadequacy of his own skills. Facing this sword, he had no countermeasures at all and could only rely on his body to resist, but at this moment, the power of the immortal body and bloodline were secretly healing him. In a blink of an eye, the scratch had gradually disappeared. This made him yearn for the next level of defense ability of the immortal tyrant body. After everyone was shocked, the competition continued as usual. Yi Luyun continued to watch other people's battles and learn from them. Yi Luyun's subsequent battles were uneventful. Most of his opponents surrendered directly. Even if he met someone who dared to compete, he was beaten back by one punch. The title of Yi Luyun who defeated the enemy with one move has been widely spread in the martial arts arena. As the competition progressed, Yi Luyun has been confirmed to be the well-deserved first in the outer sect. The 5 disciples who were preparing to enter the inner sect were also selected. At this point, the deacon elder directly announced, "The outer sect competition ends here, and the inner sect competition will start tomorrow." Yi Luyun and the top 5 outer sects will directly enter the inner sect, and from then on they will enjoy the treatment of inner sect disciples, and can go to the library at any time to choose a yellow level top grade technique as a reward for the outer sect competition. At the same time, some crystals were distributed to the 5 of them as rewards. As the first place in the competition, Yi Luyun could choose 2 yellow grade upper grade skills. He was also rewarded with the most crystals. 100 pieces of lower grade crystals, while the others only got 20 pieces at most. Yi Luyun was secretly happy. These prizes were exactly what he needed. Chapter 12 Threats in Public. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Luyun was thinking about getting the skills right away. //ncom, although you won't be able to practice in one night, there is no harm in learning a little bit and giving it a try. It happened that Yi Yong saw his excited look, so he kindly reminded him, "Brother Luyun, according to the rules of the library, 2 yellow level top level exercises can be exchanged for 1 yellow level top level exercise. And 2 yellow level top level exercises. The skill can be replaced by a Xian level low grade skill. I suggest you don't change it yet. The Nifu tribe will definitely have more advanced skills as rewards later on. You can then see how to change it more cost effectively." Is there such a rule? I am really ignorant. Thank you very much. Then I will wait until the inner palace competes before changing. Yi Luyan quickly thanked you. This news came too soon, otherwise he would have suffered a huge loss. Senior brother Luyan, you don't have to be polite. It's my turn to thank you for showing mercy. Yi Yong reminded Yi Luyan purely out of gratitude, and he calls Yi Luyan his senior brother because the strong ones in the martial arts world are respected. Yi Luyan defeated him, so he was naturally his senior brother. Yi Luyan also didn't expect that if he held back for a while, he would be able to get some benefits in return, and Yi Yong's kindness in return made him look even higher on Yi Yong. At the end of the first day of competition, the disciples from the outer palace came to congratulate Yi Luyan like stars over the moon. In the past, these people ignored Yi Luyan and called him a waste, but now they all came to flatter him. This is reality. Yi Luyan sighed in his heart, but on the surface he dealt with it one by one to avoid being said to be arrogant. At this time, Yi Tianheng walked towards Yi Luyan with murderous intent. He released the aura of the 7th level of body refining, forcing all the foreign disciples back, pointing at Yi Luyan and saying, Yi Tianming is my cousin, do you know? So what? Yi Luyan was completely indifferent to his momentum. I won't take this threat to heart. Okay. You have the guts. I will personally kill you in the ring tomorrow to avenge my cousin. Yi Tianheng said coldly. Then it depends on who of us kills whom. Sensing Yi Tianheng's murderous intention, Yi Luyan naturally would not be polite to him. All the disciples from outside the palace were dumbfounded. This Yi Tianheng is ranked 7th in the foreign government. It is said that he has cultivated the true energy seeds and is very powerful. Can Yi Luyan cope with it? But Yi Luyan seemed very calm, without any trace of panic. 7th level of body refining. He is no longer his opponent. When Yi Luyan returned to the Qi Hall, it was completely dark, but he knew that most of the disciples in the inner palace were at the 7th level of body refining. Even those at the top like Yi Wanjian have reached the 8th level of body refining. If he wanted to strive for a good ranking and get better skill rewards, he had to seize all the time to improve his strength. Moreover, the murderous intentions of the male disciples around Yi Xinyu made him dare not relax for a moment, so he started refining the elixir, planning to spend one night to continue to increase the amount of his true energy. First, 3 furnaces of elixirs were refined, with 8 pills in each furnace. The finished product came out with 12 top-grade yellow-grade pieces and 12 top-grade yellow-grade pieces. As his realm and soul improved, his level of using the fire control array disc to refine alchemy also improved. These 3 furnaces of elixirs are all high-grade and top-grade elixirs. The middle-grade and low-grade elixirs are no longer available. After that, he immediately started taking pills and cultivating his true energy. After taking 6 yellow-grade top-grade solid yuan pills, he looked inside his body and saw the true energy gathering in his body, condensing into true energy seeds, and then glowing due to the gathering and compression of the true energy. This is really magical. He couldn't help but admire secretly, until these chi seeds spread all over the body. He felt that if he took another pill, he would be able to break through to the 6th level of body refining immediately, but he stopped. He had just broken through to the 5th level of body refining yesterday, and if he broke through again, he would be worried that his realm would be unstable. Therefore, it is better to consume the true energy in the body first. He took out the metal puppet and practiced sparring, integrating the knowledge of boxing and body skills during the day into his own skills to improve his fighting skills. After trying and studying during the day, his boxing skills and body skills have indeed improved a lot. Now, his Judy Lang can already produce the superimposed power of 8 punches in one blow, and it can be used easily without delay, to the point where it can be used at will. By following the wind step, you can already initially feel the trajectory of the wind, which not only makes it more agile, but also makes it more erratic, making it difficult for opponents to guard against. Then, he took out the sledgehammer and fully activated his bloodline power to test his ultimate strength. The puppet also adjusted his realm to the peak of the 8th level of body refining accordingly, and started fighting with him. It wasn't until dawn that he stopped, covered in sweat. The fighting for nearly half a night had almost exhausted all his energy, and left him so tired that he lay on the ground panting heavily. He calmed down for a while, then immediately took a Gu Yuan Dan, began to replenish his true energy, and then prepared to break through to the 6th level of body refining. As soon as Gu Yuan Dan was in his stomach, it immediately turned into true energy and rushed towards the almost dry sea of energy. Yi Luyan felt that one elixir was not enough, and the energy in his body was really lacking too much. So he immediately took another one to ensure that he would break through to the 6th level of body refining. In this way, under the stimulation of the 2 pills, the surging true energy instantly filled the sea of qi, and then the remaining true energy rushed to various meridians in the body, widening the meridians. After the meridians are widened, all the true energy flows back to the sea of energy. Yi Luyan felt the Xianxia in his body collide and vibrate, and then suddenly there was a roar. The true energy in the sea of qi was compressed again and seemed to be much thicker. Done. 6th level of body refining. He was a little smug. Breaking through the realm now is as easy as drinking water and eating. He consolidated his realm for a while before slowly getting up. After breaking through the 6th level of body refining, Zhou Dailang can unleash the superimposed power of 9 punches. If you fight against the puppet again, you should be able to fight at the 9th level of physical training. It was already daybreak, and he had no time to practice anymore, so he had to go to eat first, and then participate in today's competition. As soon as Feng Wanru saw him, she found that his realm had broken through again, and she was so shocked that she couldn't even close her mouth. Breaking through a realm in one day. Did you rely on pills to achieve it? Seeing Feng Wanru dressed in white, with a curvy figure, and slightly parted lips, Yi Luyan inexplicably felt that the blood in his body was stirring. Maybe my blood is too sensitive. He thought to himself and immediately immersed himself in eating, not daring to look at it again, but he argued, I took the pill, but the foundation is absolutely solid, don't worry. Let me take a look. Feng Wanru couldn't help but said, grabbing the pulse gate of his wrist. The moment the cool jade hand touched Yi Luyan's arm, he became even more nervous. Feng Wanru felt his true energy and saw that there was indeed no emptiness, so she let go, asked, why are you so nervous? Your pulse is beating so fast. Tell me, did you do something bad behind my back? How dare I? I thought you were going to hit me, so I was nervous. Yi Luyan casually made up a lie and excused himself. Feng Wanru rolled her eyes at him and was not suspicious. He just told him that he must lay a solid foundation for cultivation and not just rely on pills. He agreed. After eating, they rushed directly to the martial arts field. Chapter 13 Value Rewards. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When he arrived at the martial arts arena, he discovered that there were no fewer people today than yesterday. Many foreign disciples, although they did not participate in the competition, still came to watch the battle. They can also learn some experience from the Masters competition. Not long after everyone arrived, the deacons and elders began to announce the rules of today's competition. Today's competition is a challenge to confirm the final ranking of the inner disciples, regardless of whether they are new disciples or old disciples who have entered the inner palace. Everyone has 3 opportunities to challenge. If the challenge is successful, the opponent's ranking will be replaced, and the challenge opportunity will be retained. If the challenge fails, the opponent will be replaced by the opponent, and 1 challenge opportunity will be lost. Those who do not meet the challenge will automatically lose 1 challenge opportunity. In the end, the top 20 will be rewarded with a yellow level top level skill, 300 low level crystals, and a yellow level medium level weapon. The top 10 will be rewarded with a yellow level top level skill, a century-old blood spirit fruit, and a weapon. Changed to a yellow level high-grade weapon, the top 3 will be rewarded with a Xian-grade low-grade skill and a border crossing pill, and the rewarded weapon will be changed to a yellow-grade top-grade weapon. The first place will be rewarded with a 1000-year blood spirit fruit. As soon as the deacon elder said this, some of the disciples from outside who were watching the excitement were extremely excited just hearing about these prizes. Every reward is what they dream of. This year's reward is too precious. It's better to go to the inner palace. All the disciples immediately became excited after hearing about this valuable reward. Especially the eyes of the disciples in the inner palace shone with light, and they started talking about it. I don't have any hope for the Millennium Blood Spirit Fruit. I'll be very satisfied if I can get a middle-grade yellow-level weapon. It must be worth at least 600 to 700 crystal stones, right? It's not bad to get a 100-year-old blood spirit fruit. The elder deacon looked at the people below with their eyes shining, and couldn't help but feel even more proud. What the family wants is for these disciples to be passionate and competitive. As for the death of some disciples, they didn't care at all. On the contrary, it is the survival of the fittest, and more resources can be used to cultivate more promising disciples. Yi Luyuan was also excited by these heavy rewards at this moment. Unexpectedly, the Yi family actually has a low-level Xian-level skill. I won't talk about the techniques. There is actually a 1,000-year blood spirit fruit. Everyone knows that the Millennium Blood Spirit fruit can strengthen the body, heal injuries, or improve one's realm. But he knew that this blood spirit fruit could also activate blood vessels. We must get this 1,000-year blood spirit fruit. He secretly made up his mind. Immediately, he looked at Xianxia, who had been meditating with his eyes closed. The number one person in the inner palace is Xianxia. In the past 3 years, his position as the number one in the inner palace has never wavered. It is said that he has reached the peak of the 8th level of body refining, and has already practiced the Xian level technique. It may not be easy to defeat him. At this moment, Xianxia didn't pay attention to this competition at all, and practiced there as if no one else was around. As for the reward of the blood spirit fruit, he already knew about it. In his heart, no one in the Yi family is worthy of being his opponent. The blood spirit fruit was prepared for him. Under the stimulation of this valuable reward, the enthusiasm of the inner disciples was mobilized. As soon as the competition began, many veteran inner disciples immediately challenged the top 20. Yi Luyuan and other 5 newly promoted disciples are also carefully observing the strength of the old disciples and looking for suitable challengers. Yi Luyuan took this opportunity to swallow a pill and began to slowly refine and absorb it. I hope I can improve a little more before the competition. Yi Xinyu, Yi Wanjian and others were all paying attention to Yi Luyuan. Seeing him swallowing a pill, Yi Wanjian said disdainfully, "Why did this loser become so strong all of a sudden?" It turned out that he was pushed up by the pill. "Junior sister, don't worry, I can easily do this kind of stuff. It can be done." Yi Xinyu nodded happily when she saw it. She couldn't accept the fact that Yi Luyuan had turned over, and she preferred to believe that he was created by pills. In the ring, the battle has been intense since the first match. All the players on the stage were fighting crazily, and casualties soon appeared. The rankings of the inner disciples have also undergone major changes, especially the biggest changes between the 10th and 20th places. Then, some people began to gradually challenge the 4th to 10th places. Several new disciples around Yi Luyuan also joined the challenge team, and most of the opponents they challenged were ranked after the 100. Yi Yong is slightly better, but he is still around 70. Only Yi Luyuan remained seated and did not move. He swallowed another pill and watched the inner disciples fight. The reason why he didn't move was because he didn't know the strength of the top 3 yet. These 3 people are all at the 8th level of body refining, especially the first place Xianxia and the second place Mingchen. He felt that the auras of these 2 people were very powerful, so he wanted to see the techniques they used before deciding on a countermeasure. These 2 people usually practice in the inner palace and rarely appear in public, so basically no one knows their strength. As for the third placed Yi Wanjian, he is not too worried. Just from the breath, he could feel that Yi Wanjian was much inferior to these 2 people, and he should not be his opponent. Unexpectedly, even if he didn't take the initiative, there would be people who couldn't wait to get rid of him. Yi Wenze, who was ranked 15th, actually challenged him. Logically speaking, the new disciples are all ranked at the bottom. The 15th ranked disciple will never challenge the last ranked disciple. This is not normal at all, but Yi Luyuan immediately realized that it was Yi Xinyu's suitor who was starting to make moves. Everyone in the audience also talked about it. Yi Luyuan must have offended some inner disciple. Otherwise, how could there be such a challenge? Alas! As soon as he entered the inner palace, he offended someone. I'm afraid his life will be difficult in the future. Yi Wenze, who is ranked 15th in the inner palace, should be at the late stage of the 7th level of body refining. Yi Luyuan is going to be in trouble. That the elder deacons also found this challenge strange. Out of good intentions, he reminded Yi Luyuan, "You don't have to fight, as long as you lose one chance to challenge." "I accept his challenge," that Yi Luyuan said confidently, while slowly stepping onto the ring. Seeing that Yi Luyuan really dared to come on stage, Yi Wenze couldn't help but ridiculed him. I don't know who gave you the courage. This is a competition within the inner government. Do you think we are the rubbish from the outer government? Forget it, let me kill you today and let junior sister Xinyu be completely free. As soon as he finished speaking, someone immediately started gossiping. It turns out it's for Yi Xinyu. By the way, this Yi Luyun is Yi Xinyu's fiancé. It turns out to be a love rival. Then Yi Luyun is in trouble. It is said that Yi Wanjian has also been pursuing Yi Xinyu, that if Yi Wenze hadn't mentioned it, many people would have ignored the fact that Yi Luyun and Yi Xinyu were engaged. However, the disciples from the outer palace were scolded by Yi Wenze as rubbish, but at this moment they dared not speak out in anger. There was no way, who made them unable to defeat Yi Wenze. At this moment, they all hoped that Yi Luyun could defend waifu. Yi Luyun said nothing and looked at his opponent coldly. Seeing that he didn't speak, Yi Wenze thought he was frightened and couldn't help laughing again. Boy, are you scared out of your mind? Before he could finish speaking, the elder deacon had already announced the start of the game. As soon as the elder's voice fell, Yi Luyun moved. Chapter 14: A Domineering Finger. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Wenze was enjoying himself, but before he could build up his momentum, Yi Luyun got close and punched him. //Ncom, before the punch came, he felt the energy from Yi Luyun's punch coming in like a tide, making him breathless. He secretly screamed something bad, quickly mobilized all his energy, and shouted, "Splitting Dragon Claw." He used his most popular move, Splitting Dragon Claw, to grab Yi Luyun's fist. Although he hastily accepted the challenge, with his 7th level physical training and Huang level skills, he was confident that he could reverse the disadvantage and at least he would not be injured. Bang, bang. 2 consecutive sounds, accompanied by a scream of "Ah!" Yi Wenze flew directly out of the ring. After Yi Luyun punched out, he directly scattered the split dragon claw, and then hit Yi Wenze's chest. Then, his body floated, catching up with Yi Wenze, who was sent flying, and followed up with another punch with his other hand. So it was 2 blows. Yi Wenze, on the other hand, only screamed when he was hit for the first time. The second time he was hit, all the meridians in his body were shattered, his sternum was collapsed, and he was already dead. Hiss. Everyone under the ring gasped. Is it over so soon? Yi Wenze is defeated? Yi Luyun's attack was really ruthless. He even added a punch. Everyone said whatever they wanted, and there was a lot of discussion in the audience. Yi Yong, who entered the inner palace together, had a blank mind at the moment, and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. The 15th ranked disciple can't block his punch. How strong does he have to be? Fortunately, I didn't provoke him, otherwise I would have ended up like Yi Wenze. It seems that the good-for-nothing of the past is about to rise in the Yi family. The elder deacon was also stunned for a moment, but he didn't expect that the battle would end in an instant, but he reacted immediately, glanced at Yi Luyun with admiration, and announced directly, Yi Luyun wins, ranking 15th. Many elders in the stands nodded with satisfaction, obviously appreciating such a bloody disciple. The great elder had a gloomy look on his face and said quietly, "This disciple is too cruel." His words attracted the sidelong glances of several elders around him. Ruthless? Which disciple is not ruthless? Isn't what we want is for our disciples to go through bloody battles and then stand out? But because it was the great elder who said this, they all just thought about it in their hearts, but no one said it out loud. None of these elders noticed that after Yi Luyun took action, the patriarch's eyes lit up. He secretly rejoiced in his heart. What a boy, you have reached the 6th level of physical training. What a surprise. Moreover, both body skills and boxing skills were cultivated to perfection by Yi Luyun. In previous competitions, Luyun was far from this level, but on the ring, Yi Luyun did not step off the ring. He directly said to the elder deacon, "I want to challenge Yi Tianheng, who is ranked 7th. Wow! So handsome. Why didn't I see it before? So domineering. This Yi Luyun is so secretive." Everyone in the audience exclaimed again. Some female disciples screamed along. A disciple who had just entered the inner palace not only defeated Yi Wenze, who was ranked 15th, but also challenged Yi Tianheng, who was ranked 7th. This was enough to shock them. Even some elders were a little moved when they heard this, especially the disciples from outside the palace are looking at Yi Luyan with admiration. It's so refreshing, that when the elder deacon saw that Yi Luyan was about to challenge the 7th-ranked disciple, he asked with concern, "Don't you need a break?" This shows that he also values Yi Luyan very much. "Thank you for your kindness, elder. I don't need to rest. I didn't consume much just now." Yi Luyan replied affirmatively. The reason why he is eager to challenge Yi Tianheng, who is ranked 7th, is mainly because there are too many challengers for the 15th ranked position, and he needs to constantly deal with the challenges of the people below. He does not want to get into a will battle, and since Yi Wanjian and Yi Tianheng have already started to attack him, he naturally has to fight back and get rid of those who want to kill him one by one, otherwise they will think that he is easy to bully. Okay. The elder deacon agreed and asked Yi Tianheng to fight. Yi Tianheng jumped onto the ring with a frosty look on his face and said coldly to Yi Luyan, "Your courage is commendable, but your inner sect career is over here. Don't think that just because you defeated Yi Wenza, you can shake my position. I will directly kill you and avenge my cousin." He had already made murderous intentions towards Yi Luyan yesterday. So even if Yi Luyan doesn't challenge him, he will challenge Yi Luyan. Yi Luyan smiled indifferently and said to Yi Tianheng, "I won't let go of anyone who wants to kill me. You'd better be mentally prepared. It's not too late to say your last words now. Only you. You're just a waste from the outside world. Even if your realm improves, you're still a waste in front of me." Yi Tianheng obviously dismissed Yi Luyan's words. Yi Luyan, on the other hand, stopped talking and began to gather momentum. Yi Tianheng also immediately started to mobilize his energy and got ready. Yi Wenza just suffered a mistake from being careless, and he didn't want to do it again. As the deacon said start, the two of them launched attacks at the same time. Xianbing palm. Judilang, that there was a loud boom. After the fists and palms met, Yi Luyan did not move at all. Yi Tianheng took 5 steps back, and a stream of blood spilled from the corner of his mouth. "You are not at the 5th level of body refining, but at the 6th level of body refining," Yi Tianheng screamed in shock, and some blood foam spurted out of his mouth as he spoke. The disciples in the audience had not recovered from the shock of Yi Luyan's punching Yi Tianheng, and were shocked again by Yi Tianheng's words. Yesterday's test showed that he was still at the 5th level of physical training. How come he is now at the 6th level of physical training? Everyone was confused. Yi Luyan had just defeated Yi Wenza, but he actually retained his strength. He did not burst out all his true energy. So many people ignored his realm improvement. After all, he was just tested yesterday and was at the 5th level of physical training. No one expected that he would be promoted to the 6th level of physical training overnight. "You know, too late," Yi Luyan just said coldly, and then punched again. And the speed was so fast that he did not give Yi Tianheng a chance to surrender. "Quickly admit defeat." Yi Wanjian hurriedly reminded Yi Tianheng in the audience, but unfortunately he was a step too late. "I admit." Before Yi Tianheng finished speaking, he was hit by Yi Luyan's punch, and flew out like a sandbag, and he never had the chance to say the last word. Finally, with a bang, he fell to the ground. "Asshole! You dare to kill him!" Yi Wanjian roared in the audience. Yi Luyan looked at Yi Wanjian calmly, then raised his hand and pointed at him. "Next, I'll kill you." After saying that, he jumped off the stage, took another pill, and went to recover his strength. The Yi family members in the audience were all stunned by Yi Luyan's domineering finger. Domineering. Let these arrogant inner court disciples see that we have people in the outer court who can beat them. So cool. Really make our outer court proud. The outer court disciples were all infected by Yi Luyan's domineering finger, and they all cheered him up. Yi Wanjian's face turned blue at this moment, and he was so angry that he trembled all over. A waste from the outer court not only killed his follower, but also said he wanted to kill him in front of everyone. He has always been high and mighty, how could he have suffered such anger? The inner court disciples were all confused and fell into silence. This new disciple is too fierce. How can there be such a ruthless person in the outer palace? They looked at Yi Luyan's ruthlessness and arrogance, and felt scared. No one dared to challenge him. Chapter 15 Divine Detection. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Yi Mingzhen, who was ranked second, looked at Yi Luyuan carefully at this moment. //NCOM, she estimated that Yi Luyuan would probably defeat Yi Wanjian and then challenge her. So she thought she should take the lead in challenging Yi Tianxi, so that she could have enough rest time to deal with Yi Luyuan, so she said to Yi Tianxi, who was practicing, "Senior brother, let me, junior sister, see your strength." Yi Tianxi then stopped practicing and said calmly, "As you wish. But you are no match for me." Yi Mingzhen smiled and said, "You have to try it before you know." They both stood up and jumped to the ring at the same time. Yi Mingzhen's figure suddenly appeared with several figures at the same time, real and fake, making it impossible to tell which one was the real one. Yi Tianxi took one step forward, and the sound of dragon roar loomed under his feet, and his figure loomed, and with two flashes, he was already standing on the ring. The two of them accidentally competed with each other in their movement skills, which aroused the admiration of everyone in the audience. Phantom Step and Hidden Dragon Step. They are both top-notch Huang-level movements. He is worthy of being the best in the inner palace. Just looking at his body skills makes people admire him. Yi Luyuan also noticed their movements and felt tremendous pressure. It seems that the 1,000-year blood spirit fruit is not easy to obtain. Their body skills are not only of a high level, but they have also been practiced to a near-perfect level. After the two of them stood still on the stage, the aura they exuded made the people around the ring take a few steps back, for fear of being affected by the aftermath of their battle. "Junior sister, you should take action first." "If I take action, I'm afraid you won't have a chance," Yi Tianxi said calmly. Yi Mingzhen was not angry at Yi Tianxi's arrogance. Instead, she agreed with a serious expression and took the lead in attacking. She turned into three figures and attacked Yi Tianxi from different places at the same time. At the same time, several figures came out with both palms, shrouding Yi Tianxi in a virtual and real way. Yi Tianxi, on the other hand, calmly closed his eyes, and then casually punched a figure behind him. This punch was accompanied by a low dragon roar, roaring towards Yi Mingzhen. The figure behind Yi Tianxi immediately turned into three figures and moved away. At the same time, the other two figures also disappeared. Yi Luyuan stared at the two of them without blinking, while constantly analyzing in his mind. Yi Tianxi is at the peak of the 8th level of body refining, and Yi Mingzhen is at the late stage of the 8th level of body refining. Yi Tianxi was actually able to feel Yi Mingzhen's true form with his senses. He didn't know if he relied on gods to tell the difference. Yi Mingzhen's falling flower palm and Yi Tianxi's collapsing dragon fist turned out to be only the best Huang-level skills. Do they still retain their strength? Sure enough, the first move between the two of them was instantaneous, and then they both changed their moves. Chu Shui Shui Shang. Yi Mingzhen yelled, and the figures suddenly turned into 6 figures, surrounding Yi Tianxi, and they moved their palms at the same time. Each figure released a stream of true energy, like a river, not walking in a straight line, but moving towards Yi Tianxi wrapped around and left. This is definitely a low-grade Xian-level technique. Yi Tianxi closed his eyes again, and then disappeared into the circle surrounded by Yi Mingzhen's figure. When he reappeared, he was already standing behind a figure, stretching out a finger and tapping Yi Mingzhen's shoulder. Cold light finger, it's just that his finger didn't fully exert its force. That cold light lingered on the fingertips, condensing but not emitting. When Yi Mingzhen saw this pointed finger, her face turned pale and she immediately admitted defeat. At such a close distance, if Yi Tianxi hadn't saved his hand, she would have been hit by this finger. What's more, Yi Tianxi can still break her body skills, so there is no point in continuing to fight. What a pity. I didn't see the power of Yi Tianxi's finger. But at least it is a low-level Xian-level technique that has been practiced to great perfection. Yi Luyuan secretly cried out in his heart that it was a pity. However, through their battle, he also saw that if the soul was strong enough, he could almost make himself invincible. The battle between Yi Tianxi and Yi Mingzhen represented the peak strength of the best among their peers. Even as arrogant as Yi Wanjian, he has to admit that he is not as good as the two of them. Even the elders in the stands kept nodding and praising him. Their realm and skills were impeccable. Yi Luyuan was also excited to see them. The strength of these two people also aroused his fighting spirit. A trace of red light flashed in the blood, fighting spirit rose, and there was a tendency to explode. he hurriedly calmed down and suppressed the abnormal movement of his blood. At the same time, close your eyes and use your soul to feel the changes in your surroundings. TCH. Handan toddler. Does he think he is Yi Qianxi? Yi Wanjian noticed that Yi Luyuan also closed his eyes and couldn't help but sneered. Yi Qianxi, who returned to his position, saw Yi Luyuan's actions, but his expression became solemn. Interesting. It's rare to have an opponent. He felt the fluctuation of Yi Luyuan's soul and regarded him as his opponent. Someone exclaimed at this. Oh my God! Yi Qianxi actually regarded Yi Luyuan as his opponent? Did I hear that right? How is it possible? How can Yi Luyuan be Yi Qianxi's opponent? That after hearing Yi Qianxi's words, Yi Mingzhen looked at Yi Luyuan cautiously again. She knew that Yi Qianxi didn't regard her as an opponent at all. But now Yi Qianxi actually regards Yi Luyuan as his opponent, which shows that Yi Luyuan is stronger than her. At this moment, Yi Luyuan was trying to use the power of his soul to outline the situation around him in his mind. More than 10 meters away from him, it immediately appeared in his mind like a picture. The eyes, movements, and voices of these people were all clearly displayed in front of him. He completely ignored the comments from the outside world at the moment, but was concentrating on practicing. The soul detection range of more than 10 meters is not enough for him to win 100%. He wanted to expand the soul detection distance to about 20 meters before confronting Yi Qianxi. However, the process of cultivating the soul itself is also a consumption of the soul. So it wasn't long before he had to stop and rest. The competition was ongoing, and he did not dare to consume his soul too much, lest it affect the subsequent competition. In the ring, everyone is still competing for the 9th to 20th place. The top 8 have been basically determined, and there is no dispute. It's time for me to exercise and practice my soul. Thinking of this, Yi Luyuan stood up and walked to the ring. Look, Yi Luyuan is going to take the stage to challenge Yi Wanjian. Someone exclaimed. It happened that the 2 disciples on the stage had just finished fighting. The others let the stage go, and no one came up to fight for it. Yi Luyuan stepped onto the ring and looked at Yi Wanjian. Yi Wanjian, come out and fight. Humph. If you dare to challenge me, you are simply seeking death. Yi Wanjian snorted coldly and stepped onto the ring. Yi Luyuan calmly took out the blacksmith's hammer from the storage ring. He will challenge Yi Mingzhen and Yi Qianxi later, but he doesn't want to lose both sides in a fight with Yi Wanjian. Am I right? This guy actually has storage space. I'll go. This Yi Luyuan is really hidden. There's even storage space. His aunt is the elder of the Qi Hall. What can't be refined? What's so strange about it, that the focus of everyone's attention suddenly shifted to Yi Luyuan's storage ring? Even Yi Wanjian's eyes lit up when he saw his storage ring. After all, in the Yi family, only the patriarch and his aunt have something like storage space, and no one else can buy it at all. Chapter 16 Cutting Out the Roots. You are listening at MTnovel. When Yi Luyuan saw everyone's eager eyes, he knew that he had revealed his wealth carelessly and might cause some trouble. Hand over the storage ring and I will save you from death. Yi Wanjian was the first to threaten as he approached the water tower. Yi Luyuan didn't expect that the first person who came up with the idea of his storage ring would be Yi Wanjian. He looked at Yi Wanjian as if he were an idiot, and then smiled. You? Ha! A trash who can be dazzled by beauty and wealth does not deserve to have such a thing. Okay. You are arrogant enough. Yi Wanjian's expression remained unchanged. Since you want to die, then I will kill you first. Everything about you will naturally belong to me. That Yi Luyuan didn't bother to talk nonsense to him, so he just hit him with a sledgehammer. For such a person who is used to being arrogant, it is useless to talk to him too much. It is most effective to speak directly with strength. Yi Wanjian was also angered by Yi Luyuan. Yi Luyuan despised him again and again in front of everyone today. Unless he killed Yi Luyuan, he would not be able to understand the hatred in his heart. Immediately he also drew his sword, and with one move, Wan Jianguizong, stabbed the sledgehammer coming towards him. Yi Wanjian is angry. This is the strongest move. Many foreign disciples in the audience were sweating for Yi Luyuan. There was a sound of dang. To everyone's surprise, Yi Luyuan's strike broke Yi Wanjian's strongest move and forced Yi Wanjian to duck and retreat. Yi Wanjian was also horrified at this moment. I didn't expect this loser to be so strong. He couldn't help but block my strongest move, and even hit my sword so hard that I almost lost my grip. He glanced at the yellow-grade top-quality long sword in his hand, and saw a gap when the sword's edge came out. Yi Wanjian's eyes immediately turned red. Yi Luyun roared angrily, "Ah! You loser, how dare you destroy my sword?" Yi Luyun secretly cursed. When fighting, is there still a saying that you can't destroy your opponent's weapons? He cursed, "Idiot." Without stopping, he struck with the sledgehammer again. You! Yi Wanjian was so angry that he couldn't speak. His weapon happened to be suppressed, and now he could only dodge. But his movement skills are not much better than Yi Luyun. After dodging for a few times, he could only resist with his long sword. The sound of dang, dang sounded, and Yi Wanjian's long sword was smashed into a gap every time. Yi Luyun. Yi Wanjian gritted his teeth with hatred. Do you dare to fight me with your bare hands? Idiot! Yi Luyun cursed again. They are working hard. Does this idiot think they are sparring? It turns out that Yi Wanjian is not only arrogant, but also stupid. No wonder he can be bewitched by Yi Xinyu. Such people are very vengeful, so if there is a chance, they must eradicate it and leave no trace behind. Future trouble. Yi Luyun made up his mind and showed no mercy at all. Yi Wanjian was in an extremely embarrassed state at the moment, being chased all over the ring by Yi Luyun. He no longer had the high and mighty energy he had at the beginning. He finally realized how powerful Yi Luyun was. Every time the hammer came down, he had to hold the sword hard to keep from letting go. Just the strong wind brought by the sledgehammer made his skin hurt. Now the hand holding his sword was almost numb from the shock. I'm afraid I can't resist it any longer. So he simply stopped running away and threatened Yi Luyun viciously. Do you want to force me to fight you to the death? Yi Luyun took the opportunity to sweep over with a hammer, too lazy to deal with such an idiot. He was already on the verge of death, yet he dared to threaten himself. Yi Wanjian couldn't avoid it, so he had to use all his strength to resist Wanjian Guizong. At this point, he doesn't even have the capital to fight hard, so it would be good if he can save his life, but he didn't expect that Yi Luyun's power would increase again. Yi Luyun knew that he couldn't avoid it, so the power of this blow mobilized all the Xianxia and Jinqi seeds, and also used the power of blood. Even the 8th level of peak body training could not withstand it. Yi Wanjian was like a boat swaying in the wind and rain, unable to hold on any longer. The long sword in his hand was broken and then he let go, and the person was hit by the remaining force of the sledgehammer. The sound of cracking bones was heard. Just hearing the sound made people panic, but Yi Luyun did not stop there, but followed up with a lunge, wielding the hammer with both hands, and was about to hit him again. Stop! Upon seeing this, the great elder hurriedly shouted to stop. This Yi Wanjian can be regarded as his carefully cultivated junior. If he is beaten to death by Yi Luyun, his control over the younger generation will be even weaker. That's why he couldn't help but speak out. Unexpectedly, Yi Luyun didn't give him any face, and smashed the sledgehammer directly, causing blood to splash everywhere. Seeing that Yi Luyun did not obey his orders, the great elder shouted angrily, I told you to stop, didn't you hear me? So what if you heard it? Yi Luyun asked back, who gave you the right to interfere with the game? Is there any rule that says you're not allowed to kill your opponent during a clan competition? Yi Luyun asked back without fear. The great elder was momentarily speechless by his question. You. This battle lasted for nearly a quarter of an hour, and many people watched it with their mouths open. No one could have imagined that Yi Luyun could be so powerful. Only then did everyone react and exclaimed in surprise. What kind of waste is this? If he is waste, then who are we? It's so damn enjoyable. Chasing and smashing Yi Wanjian. What a ruthless man. He even dares to fight against the great elder. Don't mess with him in the future. Only then did the great elder react. He didn't expect that a loser would dare to challenge him and make him lose face. You little beast. How dare you show disrespect to your superiors? I'll beat you to death if you don't. But with that said, he stood up and took the opportunity to kill Yi Luoyun. Sit down. The clan leader has now seen Yi Luoyun's potential. How can he let the elder do whatever he wants? In a few years, Yi Luoyun will be able to surpass the great elder. How could he give up a new force for an old guy? Clan leader. This kid is ruthless and has no respect for his elders. That's enough. The patriarch waved his hand, interrupting the great elder's words. Yi Luoyun won and ranked third. The game continues. The clan leader directly announced the result of Yi Luoyun's game on behalf of the elder deacon. Yi Luoyun bowed to thank him and was about to walk off the ring. Unexpectedly, the great elder let out a hum, and a powerful spiritual power rushed into Yi Luoyun's sea of consciousness. Apparently the great elder was unwilling to give in and wanted to take the opportunity to use his soul attack to destroy Yi Luoyun. He is a strong man of the third level of true essence, and his soul is powerful. This attack could turn Yi Luoyun into an idiot at worst, or kill him at worst. He didn't believe that the clan leader would have trouble with him because of a useless or dead person. How dare you? The patriarch felt the fluctuation of the great elder's soul and suddenly became furious. This guy dared to disobey his own orders. At the same time, a terrifying pressure of divine consciousness erupted in the distance and rushed straight towards the great elder's sea of consciousness. The other elders and clan leaders were so frightened that they did not dare to move. But Yi Luoyun had already resolved the crisis at this time. The 10,000 gods' order in his sea of consciousness suddenly burst into light, directly grabbing the divine consciousness that rushed into his sea of consciousness and turning it into the nourishment of Yi Luoyun's soul. For a time, his spirit grew a lot stronger. The range that the divine consciousness can detect instantly expanded to nearly 20 meters. This is much faster than practicing on his own. But the great elder turned pale, vomited several mouthfuls of blood, and collapsed to the ground. On the one hand, part of his consciousness was forcibly taken away by the order of all gods and suffered backlash. On the other hand, the consciousness that rushed into his sea of consciousness also gave him a fatal blow when his consciousness was weakened, completely annihilating his soul. However, at this time, the pressure of spiritual consciousness has not dissipated, hovering over the stands, so that none of these elders dare to act rashly. Chapter 17 Fighting for First Place. You are listening at MTnovel. The clan leader resisted the pressure of his spiritual consciousness and asked Yi Luoyun with concern, "Are you okay?" "I'm fine," Yi Luoyun replied, then walked off the ring to consolidate his soul. At this time, the pressure of the divine soul on everyone's heads dissipated. 520 official website. The clan leader also took a deep breath and sat down slowly. Then he looked at the great elder who had fallen to the ground and had someone carry him down. He was also very helpless. He couldn't afford to offend the owner of that powerful spiritual pressure. If that person gets angry, their entire Yi family may not have enough people to kill him, and the great elder would not have ended up like this if he had not committed suicide. "Father!" Yi Xianxia wailed and ran over with tears in her eyes. She took the elder's body directly back to her residence without even participating in the competition. Yi Luoyun was attacked by the great elder's spirit, and wanted to challenge Yi Xianxia in front of him and humiliate her and the great elder in public. But seeing things develop like this, forget it. She was still thinking that if Yi Xianxia stopped messing with him in the future, she would find an opportunity to return the engagement to her. None of the disciples outside the stands felt the pressure of the divine soul in the stands. Like the elders in the stands, they all thought that the clan leader had taken action against the great elder for Yi Luoyun. At this time, everyone was thinking to themselves, even the clan leader values Yi Luoyun so much, who will dare to mess with him in the future? It's better not to make any plans about that storage ring. In the eyes of many disciples, they admire Yi Luoyun more. Not to mention that he killed Yi Wanjian. Just because he dared to argue with the elders was enough to impress these disciples. Yi Luoyun, who walked off the stage, was also secretly wondering. He just destroyed the consciousness of the great elder's attack, so he shouldn't be so severely affected by the backlash, right? He also felt the powerful pressure of the soul, and the feeling it gave him was somewhat similar to when his aunt was angry. But he immediately gave up the idea. How can it be? My aunt didn't even come. He was not in the mood to think so much at the moment. The game was still going on, and he had to seize the time to improve his strength, so he swallowed another pill and began to restore his true energy while becoming familiar with the power of his consciousness. After a short break, he took the stage again and challenged Yimingzhen. Sister, please give me some advice. Yi Luyan was very polite to Yimingzhen. Although Yimingzhen looked cold on the surface, she was not proud, and she didn't target him, so he naturally had to treat her with courtesy. Yimingzhen was surprised by his politeness, and couldn't help but said, I thought you were an arrogant person. I didn't expect. It depends on who is right. I will naturally not respect people who want to harm me. Yi Luyan explained. Yimingzhen nodded, and then asked, then why did you put the hammer away? Do you look down on me and think I'm not as good as Yuanjian? No, senior sister misunderstood. I have observed senior sister's skills, but I just feel that it is more beneficial to me not to use a sledgehammer. Dancing with a sledgehammer would actually affect the flexibility of his movements. He mainly relied on his soul to win this battle, so Yi Luyan simply didn't take out the sledgehammer. That's it. I'm overthinking it. Seeing him say this, a smile appeared on Yimingzhen's face. Junior brother, be careful. Yimingzhen reminded him, and the figure turned into three and attacked. Yi Luyan immediately closed his eyes, floated in one direction, and then punched the figure. Ah! Yimingzhen immediately dodged and then stopped. So your senses are so strong. She was a little surprised and helpless. There is no need to compare at all. She couldn't hit Yi Luyan at all, and once she was hit by Yi Luyan, the competition would be over. She had already seen Yi Luyan's strength. Although his level is lower than hers, his true energy is no worse than hers, and she is not sure if he can fight head-on. Moreover, she had never practiced physical training, so she couldn't beat Yi Luyan head-on. In the end, she bit her lip and gave in. Yimingzhen's admission of defeat did not surprise Yi Luyan. He has a way to restrain Yimingzhen, and she will lose this battle, so he just said a few polite words and went down to prepare for the competition with Yi Xianxia. The audience looked at each other in shock. It was too easy to win. If they hadn't seen Yi Luyan defeat Yuanjian before, they would have suspected that Yimingzhen deliberately let Yi Luyan go. Yi Luyan defeated Yimingzhen, but he didn't feel much joy in his heart. Instead, he felt a little nervous. Yi Xianxia's eyes also shone with excitement, and he was looking forward to the battle with Yi Luyan. Yi Xianxia is not only at a high level, but the techniques he practices are also more advanced than Yi Luyan's. Therefore, Yi Luyan himself was not sure about the outcome of the two people. Suddenly, he remembered the Great Elder's soul attack against him. The Great Elder's soul attack does not have any skills. It simply releases his spiritual consciousness and impacts the opponent's sea of consciousness. These are very low-level attack methods in Dian Soul technique. And if it doesn't work well, it will suffer backlash. It's just that Yi Luyan hasn't reached that level of cultivation yet, and now he is only at the preliminary application of spiritual consciousness. Why don't you give it a try during your break? If you can master it, it will be equivalent to having an extra life-saving trump card. In other aspects, it is obvious that there cannot be a big improvement in a short period of time, so the only way is to try this method. Thinking of this, he immediately started practicing. He did not try to release a large amount of spiritual consciousness at the same time. Instead, follow the method of Dian Soul technique and start practicing from just one piece of spiritual consciousness. First try to control, then leave the body, and then attack. Half an hour later, he exited the cultivation state. Although his face looked tired, there was joy in the corners of his eyes and brows. Since there was no elixir to restore his soul prepared in advance, he could only continue to sit cross-legged and rest. It took another half an hour for Yi Luyan to fully recover. At this time, there was no one left to challenge in the ring, and the rankings were basically decided. Everyone is waiting for the final battle between him and Yi Xianxia. Yi Xianxia was not in a hurry. He finally met an opponent and wanted Yi Luyan to fight him at his peak. His pride is different from the arrogance of Yuanjian and others. At least he won't bully others, let alone verbally insult others. Yi Luyan has heard this for a long time, so he still respects Yi Xianxia very much. After Yi Luyan came on stage, he cupped his fists in the direction of Yi Xianxia and said, "Senior brother, I kept you waiting." Please enlighten me. It doesn't matter. I hope you can use all your strength to let me fight happily. Xianxia flew onto the stage, his anticipation was palpable. As senior brother wishes. As he said that, Yi Luyun took out a sledgehammer and stood ready, feeling the fighting spirit emanating from Yi Luyun. Xianxia couldn't help but nod in secret praise. At the moment, he stopped thinking about it and went all out. As soon as the competition started, Yi Luyun danced away with his sledgehammer, displaying the power of his advanced skills. From top to bottom, hit Xianxia with a hammer. Xianxia used the dragon collapsing fist to receive Yi Luyun's blow. His cold light finger, which focuses on speed and ice attributes, is not suitable for this kind of head-to-head strength competition, so it is not of use for the time being. This time the two of them collided with each other with all their strength, causing the entire arena to shake slightly. The disciples who were watching the excitement all moved back, for fear of being affected by them. Chapter 18 Divine Consciousness Attack. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. Yi Luyun was mentally prepared, knowing that this blow would not determine the outcome, then continued to attack with the hammer, demonstrating his hammering skills vividly. Xianxia was secretly surprised. Although he was not injured in the collision just now, he took 2 steps back. This is enough to show that Yi Luyun's power is actually greater than him. Yi Luyun is only 14 years old, and he is still at the 6th level of body refining. To be able to challenge him across 2 realms, this talent is definitely much better than his. He is an out-and-out genius. Cross-level challenges are the sign of true genius. He himself can also challenge the 9th level of body refining across levels. But he is definitely not as evil as Yi Luyun. Moreover, he could also tell that Yi Luyun's hammer technique was definitely a more advanced martial art than the low-grade Xian level. The elders in the stands also became excited. Yi Luyun has so many treasures. He even has advanced hammering skills. If this hammering technique can be handed over to the clan. When the clan leader heard this statement, he immediately cursed, "You old guys are becoming more and more useless. You actually want to take advantage of a disciple." Seeing the clan leader saying this, they immediately stopped moving. The scene where the great elder was dealt with just now is still vivid in my mind. As for Yi Luyun, they naturally thought more highly of him. They didn't dare to mess with the genius disciple who was protected by the clan leader. On the ring, Yi Luyun and Xianxia were full of fighting spirit at this moment, and they were fighting heartily. At this moment, Xianxia had fully displayed his peak strength at the 8th level of body refining. The same goes for Yi Luyun. He used all the qi seeds in his body, special qi attributes, and the power of his bloodline, and was on a par with Xianxia. The two fought more than 100 times before they separated again. Enjoyable. Xianxia roared, his face full of joy. It's been a long time since anyone asked him to fight with all his strength for so long. I'm about to use the cold light finger. If you have any other skills that can keep you under control, don't hide them. Xianxia reminded. Yi Luyun was also very excited. It's much more fun to fight against real people than against puppets. Okay. Come on. He shouted and attacked Xianxia again. However, Xianxia did not fight head-on this time, but relied on his physical skills to deal with him. Soon, Xianxia caught an opportunity. Cold light finger. A cold light quickly condensed on his fingertips and pointed towards Yi Luyun's left shoulder, but Yi Luyun used his soul to exert force, and a stream of consciousness rushed straight into Xianxia's sea of consciousness, while he himself ducked and retreated. But Yi Luyun did not use his spiritual consciousness to attack. It was just a shock. He was afraid that if he didn't control it well, he would destroy Xianxia. However, Xianxia's sea of consciousness was attacked, and most of the cold light on his fingertips instantly dissipated. But this finger relied on inertia and hit Yi Luyun's left shoulder. Yi Luyun only felt a burst of coldness and severe pain coming from his left shoulder. Although the skin was not punctured, the muscles and bones inside were probably damaged. After that, the two of them stopped at the same time and stood on the stage. Everyone in the audience thought that Yi Luyun was defeated. After all, his injuries were more obvious. It seems that Xianxia is the strongest. No one can shake the Yi family's #1 position for many years. How old is Yi Luyun? In a few more years, he may not be able to catch up with Xianxia. On the stage, Xianxia also recovered, but his face was a little pale. He knew that if Yi Luyun hadn't been merciful, that divine attack would have directly penetrated his soul. Even if he didn't die, if Yi Luyun took the opportunity to hit him with a hammer, he would definitely be defeated. Yi Luyun also discovered this trick after being attacked by the Great Elder. Then I checked the Dian divine technique and found that this kind of attack method was indeed mentioned in it, and it was much more effective than the Great Elder's attack. So he learned a little bit. The Great Elder's attack was at best a layman's rampage with his spiritual consciousness, and the attack was very rough. I lost. I actually lost. Xianxia murmured. Even the deacons and elders were confused. It was obviously Xianxia who won. At this time, Xianxia solemnly thanked Yi Luyun with fists in his hands. Thank you, junior brother, for showing mercy. I hope I will have the opportunity to fight you again in the future. Senior brother, you are serious. I also hope to compete with you again in the future. This battle was very enjoyable. Yi Luyun also felt sympathy for him. Ha ha ha. The two people looked at each other and then laughed together. Everyone in the audience looked puzzled and asked each other. What's going on? Did Xianxia lose? From what Xianxia said, it was Yi Luyun who gave in to him. Who saw it and how did he give in? Xianxia also turned around and said to the elder deacon at this time, Junior brother Luyun wins, you declare it. This. The elder deacon looked at the patriarch in embarrassment. Yi Luyun's spiritual attack was so subtle that he really didn't notice it, but the clan leader has been paying attention to the competition between the two of them. He has a high realm and sees things relatively comprehensively. Therefore, he directly announced, Yi Luyun won, ranking first in this year's clan competition. As for how he won, discussion and rumors are prohibited from now on, otherwise he will be treated as a traitor to the clan. Then he sent a message to Xianxia and Yi Luyun through his spiritual consciousness, telling them not to tell anything. After all, this is Yi Luyun's trump card. The fewer people who know about it, the safer Yi Luyun will be. The onlookers all looked at each other in confusion, feeling as if a cat was scratching their heads. They looked at each other, their eyes full of questions, but they didn't dare to ask out loud. After all, the clan leader has given strict orders. So I can only hold it in hard. The annual clan competition has finally come to an end. Yi Luyun won first place. After he returned home, he boasted a few words to Feng Wanru and then went to refine the elixir. After working all night, I refined 76 yuan guiding pills. Among them, there are 22 high-grade yellow stones and 51 top-grade yellow stones. To his delight, he actually refined 3 low-grade Xian-level Guyuan pills, so he decided that from now on he would only eat Guyuan Dan from Xianxia and sell all the Guyuan Dan from Huangjia. In this way, he can also force himself to refine more Xian-level elixirs. He also made 50 pills each for detoxifying pills and concentrating pills for cultivating the soul, just in case of emergencies. These elixirs are all of the highest quality in the Huang class. It's just a pity that the first time I refined this kind of elixir, I didn't get the Xian-level elixir. There are also body-refining liquids that he has prepared for later use. As soon as it dawned, he set off directly to Wanbao Pavilion. When he arrived at Wanbao Pavilion this time, he was surrounded by many beautiful shopping guides at the door. Yuer, who received him last time, was pushed aside by everyone. Obviously everyone knew the news that he had become a VIP of Wanbao Pavilion. However, Yi Luyun ignored them and directly picked up Yuer and went to find Liang Shui. Thank you Mr. Yi for remembering Yuer. Yuer kept thanking him. Why are you so polite? It's the first time I've come here, and you're the only one who's willing to receive me. So I'll only recognize you when I come here in the future. I even brought something more valuable for trading today, and you've made some money again. Really? Thank you so much, sir. Yuer was also very happy when she heard this. Liang Shui was a little surprised when she saw him coming. He smiled and said, I just came to my sister after I won the first place in the inner palace. Are you going to buy something to reward yourself, or are you going to give me another pill for my sister? Sister Liang's information is quite good. Yi Luyun did not expect that Liang Shui's information was so good. It seems that this Wanbao Pavilion is not simple. Chapter 19. Leave no one behind. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Liang Shue's eyes lit up when she saw that what Yi Luyun was taking out this time was the Xianxia top-grade elixir. 520 official website. Brother, are you willing to sell these top-quality Huang-level Yuan Guardian pills? Yes. To be honest with Sister Liang, I have been able to refine the lower-grade Xianxia Yuan pills. From now on, Huangjia's pills will be sold. Well, Liang Shui looks more and more pleased with Yi Luyun now. At such a young age, he can refine Xian-level elixirs. His achievements in the future will definitely be higher than that of alchemist Lu. He did not give his Zika to the wrong person. Sister Liang, do you think this storage ring can be traded? Yi Luyun asked. Storage ring? Where did it come from? Liang Shui hurriedly took it as if she had found a treasure. I made it myself. But it's not as good as the one I have. It's just for experiments. Yi Luyun didn't hide it. When he was getting the elixir just now, he saw Liang Shui glance at his storage ring. Knowing that I can't hide it from her, it's better to tell the truth. And the ring is indeed rather rough. You can also refine weapons. Hearing this, Liang Shui was even more surprised. She found a treasure this time. It's not that I know how to do it. I usually live in the family hall and learn a little secretly. Liang Shui studied the storage ring carefully, and it indeed looked like Yi Luyun's practice work. But this was enough to surprise her. We just happened to have an auction recently. If you are not in a hurry to spend money, you can put this storage ring up for auction and it will sell for a better price. Liang Shui pondered for a while and suggested to Yi Luyun. Okay, just listen to my sister. Yi Luyun agreed without any hesitation. Brother, my sister's storage ring is too small. Can you make another one with a larger space for my sister? My sister won't let it go in vain. Liang Shui was a little worried that he would not agree. Thanks to my sister, how can I get paid? You tell me how much space you need, and I will help you refine it for free. Yi Luyun agreed. Really? Liang Shui was so happy that she almost threw herself on Yi Luyun. Yi Luyun's face turned red. In all his life, he has never had such close contact with a woman. Liang Shui also realized that she was too excited. But seeing his embarrassment, I couldn't help but burst into laughter. In order to avoid embarrassment, she took the initiative to change the subject. What materials are needed? Mainly space nest wood and ore. Yi Luyun explained to Liang Shui. Okay, when I get the materials from other places, I will send them to you. Liang Shui said happily. After the two made an agreement, Yi Luyun took the money from selling the elixir, exchanged it for some low-grade crystal stones, and then bought some medicinal materials for alchemy before leaving Wanbao Pavilion. As soon as he left the entrance of Wanbao Pavilion, his consciousness realized that he was being followed. He used his spiritual consciousness to take another look and saw that it was Mtlnovel, following him with two disciples of the 7th level of true essence. He raised the corner of his mouth slightly and walked towards a remote place. Mtlnovel made a fool of himself last time in Wanbao Pavilion, and he always hated him in his heart. He also entered the inner palace through the Mo family's clan competition, and his strength also improved. He guessed that Yi Luyun might come to Wanbao Pavilion to sell medicine again. So he took advantage of the time after the clan competition and took two of his best disciples to guard Yi Luyun at the entrance of Wanbao Pavilion. The last time he was beaten by Yi Luyun, he vomited blood, but he thought Yi Luyun was just a sneak attack. What's more, now that there are 3 people on his side, it should be easy to deal with Yi Luyun. At this time, when they saw Yi Luyun walking towards a remote place, they couldn't help but feel happy and followed him without thinking too much. When they reached a deserted dead end, they blocked Yi Luyun in it. Yi Luyun, we meet again. It's time to settle our accounts. Mtlnovel said with a sinister smile. Yi Luyun smiled faintly. Idiot, don't even think about why I ended up in this place. Mtlnovel was stunned for a moment, then smiled and said, I don't know who is stupid. You think you are the opponent of the 3 of us? Another person also threatened, stop talking nonsense, kneel down, apologize, make compensation, and we will spare your life today. Yi Luyun, however, calmly took out the sledgehammer from the storage ring and asked contemptuously, "Oh, what compensation do you want?" That when Mo Tianyi and others saw the storage ring on Yi Luyun's hand, they couldn't move their eyes away. "Boy, is this storage space in your hand?" someone asked. Mo Tianyi recognized it and said directly, "Hand over the storage ring and we will let you go, otherwise." Before he finished speaking, Yi Luyun's spiritual attack had already been launched. However, Yi Luyun's control over his spiritual consciousness was not strong, so this attack was not fatal enough, so while he was stunned and screaming, he hit him with a hammer, smashing Mo Tianyi's brains everywhere. His two companions did not expect Yi Luyun to suddenly attack, and Mo Tianyi did not react, as if he was stupid, standing there waiting for him to hit. Both were spattered with blood. Then, Yi Luyun used the same method and knocked another person to the ground with a hammer. The remaining person retreated in fear and asked tremblingly, "What kind of evil magic did you use?" "Evil magic? You can try it," Yi Luyun said, launching another spiritual attack, and then hitting it with a hammer. It's not that he doesn't have the strength to directly confront these three people, he just simply wants to test the attack power of his spiritual consciousness. He put away the sledgehammer and shook his head. The attack power of this divine consciousness is still weak. It cannot directly kill the opponent. After saying that, he left the scene directly and returned to Ye's house as if nothing had happened. After he left, Liang Shui and Uncle Su appeared at the scene. The attack was ruthless enough, and he didn't even leave anyone behind. However, he didn't even clean up, so he wasn't afraid that the Mo family would cause trouble for him. "Uncle Su, I'd better trouble you to help deal with it," Liang Shui said aloud. Uncle Su nodded, waved his hand, and fired 3 beams of real fire, directly burning the 3 people to ashes without leaving any trace. "That boy seems to have just come into contact with the technique of spiritual attack, but he is not yet proficient in it," Uncle Su said. Liang Shui nodded. "But it's pretty fast. It's only been a few days, and it's already much better than last time." Then, the two of them floated away. Someone was ambushing them outside Wanbao Pavilion, so naturally they couldn't escape their eyes and ears. The ordinary elders of Wanbao Pavilion are all masters of the true Yuan realm and have already informed Liang Shui. Liang Shui knew Yi Luyun could deal with it, so she didn't show up and just helped him deal with the aftermath. After Yi Luyun returned to the Yi family, he did not go back to the Qi Hall first, but went directly to the library to collect the skills. He met many disciples along the way and all took the initiative to say hello to him. It's completely different from the previous cynicism, but he didn't take it to heart. Deal with them one by one. He was like this before. He only wanted to become stronger and rarely cared about other people's opinions. When he arrived at the library pavilion, he was told that he could receive up to 2 low-grade Xian-level exercises and 1 top-grade Huang-level exercise. This time, the elder guarding the palace led him directly to a separate room on the 3rd floor of the library. There were all low-grade Xian-level techniques stored in it. He himself couldn't help but sigh. The last time he came, he could only browse on the 1st floor. Unexpectedly, when he came again, he would suddenly jump to the 3rd floor compartment. Chapter 20, Picking Up a Leak in the Technique. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 3-layer compartments of the Yi family's collection of books are all filled with Xian-level techniques. High-level techniques have always been the most important resource for a family, and the Yi family is no exception. There is a formation guarding this place. Anyone who enters by abnormal means will be attacked by the formation. He glanced at the Xian-level low-grade techniques in the room and found that there were only 7 in total. However, this number was more than he expected. He didn't know that the Yi family had Xian-level low-grade techniques before. Among these Xian-level techniques, there was only one body technique, named Lingkong Ju. Originally, the grade should be higher, but because it was a fragment, it was rated as Xian-level low-grade. Yi Luyun found this technique obscure and difficult to understand. He turned to the last page and was about to give up. Suddenly, the Wanshan order in the Sea of Consciousness trembled. In his eyes, the handwriting on the last page disappeared, and then replaced by many dense small characters. Although there are many words, with the help of the Wanshan order, they are all firmly imprinted in his mind. These words are actually the complete practice of Linkong Ju. Yi Luyun almost jumped up with excitement. He never thought that there would be such a mechanism in this book, and this book is actually a complete low-grade heavenly practice. Heavenly practice. He had never thought of it before. Yi Luyun was ecstatic and turned his back hurriedly, afraid of being seen by the elders. After writing down the practice, he put the practice book back to its original place, and then picked up the next one to read. But then, he never encountered such a good thing again. In the end, he chose a sword method called Ba Dao Ju. Although it was also an incomplete practice, he liked swords. He felt that the sword was the overlord among weapons, and it was majestic and domineering when wielded. He felt that the sledgehammer was too strong and not flexible enough. He also chose a set of Benlei fist. Although his true chi did not have the attributes of thunder and lightning, this boxing method was a strong way, which was just right for him to practice after Jiu Dai Lang. The most important thing is that this set of boxing is the only complete set of practice. The other techniques here are all fragments. After leaving the room, he chose a book called Star Picking Hand on the third floor, a yellow-grade top-grade technique. This technique combines a variety of claw techniques, is good at using clever strength to defeat the enemy, and is as powerful as the lower-grade techniques of the Xian grade, but practicing this technique requires a lot of finger strength. It just so happens that he has practiced the Immortal Tyrant Body technique, so his finger strength is enough, and he should be able to get started quickly. The elders in the hall have been with him all the time, constantly giving him advice. You already have the hammer technique, you should change the knife technique to the body technique. If the thunder fist does not have the lightning attribute, its power is equivalent to the yellow-grade top-grade technique. Star picking hand is too difficult to practice, and many people have practiced their fingers to death. He knew that the elders were doing it for his own good, but he couldn't explain it to him. He could only reject the elders' kindness. In the end, the elders were so angry that they blew their beards and glared, saying that he got carried away after winning the first place. This made Yi Luyun very helpless. Yi Luyun took the copied techniques back to the weapon hall. He was still very excited. He actually found a heaven-level martial arts technique. As soon as he entered the back hall, the ant pointed to 2 boxes and a knife on the ground and said to him, "The family elders sent them, saying that they were rewards from your clan. I have collected the crystals, just as your filial piety to me. I will also help you sell the cross-border pills, exchange them for crystals, and save money for you to get married. The blood spirit fruit belongs to you. I picked a knife for you from the top-grade yellow weapons. If you want to use it, keep it. If you don't want to use it, sell it. Wait until you save money for me to get married. I'm afraid I won't be able to get married in my life." Yi Luyun didn't believe her nonsense at all. Fortunately, he is not short of money or pills now, so he didn't care too much, and he took out 200,000 crystal coins for Feng Wanru. "Here, keep it for yourself, and don't be too wronged. I'm selling pills now and have some money in my hand." Feng Wanru glanced at him and was still very touched. But he still said, "Ah. You are so generous now. You know that you support me. How much money do you have? Let me see your strength and consider it. Give it back to me if you don't want it." He stretched out his hand to snatch the crystal coin back, but he was not as fast as Feng Wanru. He raised his mouth, put away the blood fruit and knife on the ground, and went back to practice. As expected, the star-picking hand quickly got the hang of it, and it would soon reach the level of minor success. The flying air art, the tyrant sword art and the thunder hand were also considered to be entry-level. Almost a night of practice also made him feel tired. He mixed the body refining medicine with hot water and poured it into the bathtub. He slept while refining his body. Before going to bed, he also took a concentrating spirit pill. He didn't jump out of the bathtub until Feng Wanru called him for breakfast. After soaking in the body-refining medicine, he felt that his body was more powerful. And the soul was more powerful under the effect of the concentrating spirit pill, so when he appeared, he gave people a special spirit. "Did you eat the blood spirit fruit? How come you are so energetic?" Feng Wanru asked curiously. "No. Am I not so energetic and handsome every day?" Yi Luyun laughed. "Ah. You are so proud of yourself after winning the first place, right? I tell you, if you dare to waste the 1,000-year-old blood spirit fruit, I will not give you food for a year. Feng Wanru threatened fiercely. Don't worry. Am I as unreliable as you? I was just about to tell you. I am going to Hunlin Mountains. I heard that there are blood vein grass, fierce beast blood and other medicinal materials I need there, and I can also get some beast blood for body refining. Hearing this, Feng Wanru asked curiously, aren't you afraid of being eaten by ferocious beasts when you go to the Hunlin Mountains at your level? Dangers and opportunities coexist. You taught me this. And I'm not going right away. I'll prepare for a few days, and then I'll have a good grasp of the new technique, and then I'll go practice it. Feng Wanru looked at Yi Luyun and said seriously, okay, go ahead. Don't forget to leave all the crystals on your body before you leave. After hearing this, Yi Luyun felt the urge to curse. He was despised by his aunt. However, he knew that he could not defeat Feng Wanru, so he had to pretend not to hear. After eating, he went back to practice again. After breaking through the 6th level of body refining, all the Xianxia he cultivated was used to open up new meridians. The channels through which true energy circulates mainly include the 9 meridians. The Xianyuan Qi refining technique he practiced required him to reopen the 9 major meridians before entering the true Yuan realm. In each meridian, there are 18 important acupoints. What he has to do now is to condense the true energy seeds in these 18 acupoints, then open these 18 acupoints, shatter the original meridians, and then use the true energy to repair these meridians. Yi Luyun has already condensed the true energy seeds in the 6 acupoints in the first meridian. At his current cultivation speed, if he doesn't take pills, he can probably gather about 1 qi seed in a day. If you take the elixir, you can condense at least 9 true energy seeds, but his first 2 breakthroughs were too fast, so he didn't dare to eat any more recently, so he had to practice bit by bit honestly. When I was tired from practicing, I would practice Dian's soul technique in between. With the help of the concentrating pill, the soul can practice very quickly. It is estimated that in a few days, it will be able to explore a range of 100 meters. And in terms of soul attacks, he has begun to condense the consciousness of that attack to make it stronger. In the evening, he began to practice several exercises again. When he was tired, he would make elixirs and use medicinal liquids to refine his body. Anyway, he would do it non-stop.